You're listening to 101 with Tommie Zam. On the 82nd episode, we sit down with Phil Ceja talking about skateboarding and life. Let's do this. What's up, Phil? How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Tommy? Good. How you doing today?
Oh, man, it's a Monday. It's, a few more days till 4th of July, and that means a little long weekend. Little good times.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the 4th as well. I know.
You got any big plans or anything?
Yeah, just probably going to see a movie with the family. Yeah, go see the new Toy Story movie.
Oh, dude, that looks so fun.
Yeah, I know. Pretty excited for that.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's start at the beginning. What first got you into skateboarding, and what kept you coming back every day?
Man, it was just kind of messing around with like a cheap board. I remember I got like one for a Christmas gift and it wasn't a good one. And I was just cruising around with it and thinking, oh, this seems pretty cool, but it was hard to kind of, get balance and used to it at first. But then I remember I was going with a friend to like some church, little service thing. It was like a community thing. Can you hear me still?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. And anyways, there was a raffle for like a board, and it was a really sick, Bob Burnquist, the firm, board. I just remember the graphic and everything, like Superman and stuff. It was really cool. And I remember winning that, and I was like, okay, let me try to put this thing together. And then, I was cruising around for a bit, and I don't know, just something about even just the feeling of rolling around and stuff was like, felt so good. And then I remember even getting some like grip tape on it and stuff, and just going to there's a shop, Furnace Skate Shop, kind of getting set up there. And then next thing you know, dude, I was just like starting to figure it out. Kind of, it took about a good year maybe to even figure out like how to really get my balance and like how to do like even like an ollie. And about a year and a half finally, then I was trying to get like flip trick, like kick flip at least, or something. Think I could probably do like maybe a shove it or like something basic like that. But yeah, it was a kind of a slow start, to be honest. Like yeah, it was just like I said, fell in love with just kind of the feeling of I guess like it was difficult and like trying to overcome that challenge of like, well, it's hard, but like it's obviously like doable because like I've seen like people can do it, like do tricks and stuff. So I was like, there's got to be a way to figure this out. And I think it just takes patience and time, and everybody's different. Some people it takes like they can learn skateboarding overnight, it almost seems like, and then some people it takes years. So I was kind of like an in between. I feel like it took me like I said, about a good year and a half before I kind of started to figure out okay, I can do some ollies and kick flips. And like, yeah, I was like, dude, once I started figuring out tricks, like I really love this like feeling of just being able to overcome that, so yeah.
Dude, that's pretty rad. And go back a little bit. So Furnace Skate Shop was your local skate shop that you went to purchase skateboards, to hang out, watch skate videos and all that stuff, correct?
Yeah, so I just I heard about it, saw that it was local, like, yeah, before I even really knew what skateboarding was, like I said, besides just trying to cruise on a board, looked them up, and I was over there in like Cypress area because they were over in Cypress at the time. And then, I was just like, you know what, I'm going to check this shop out because like I said, my first board, I didn't even have grip tape on it, like my first official pro model board. So I was like, let me go get some grip tape, and you can get that in an actual skate shop, because my board before that was, like I said, some Walmart, like WWE, like budget, like plastic trucks, like, don't even roll wheels and bearings. You know what I mean? Like just bottom of the barrel, but it's a skateboard, but it's like, it's not a real legit, like, setup. So yeah, going to Furnace, like I said, just, the feeling of like going in there, feeling welcome right away. Like, a shop like that is so great because it's like, they help anybody from like, a kid's first complete, like they have no idea what they're doing. They just go in there, or somebody who's been skateboarding for years. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's a core skate shop, like for the skaters and for the community over there. And they're in Buena Park now, but borderline like Buena Park, Cypress. They've been around for over 20 something years, I think 25 or something almost at least. It's been around for a while. They're one of the best skate shops, I feel like, in Orange County for sure. If not the best skate shop in Orange County, I'll personally say. So
you hear that, guys? The best skate shop in OC. You got to check them out.
Yes. Furnace Skate Shop. Yeah. Randy. There's a guy, Tanner. He holds it down there too. He's actually a really good skateboarder too. He rides the foundation stuff. Yeah. They got a lot of good people there in that shop. Yeah. So definitely worth checking out if you're in.
Yeah. I remember seeing Furnace Skate Shop in like old 4-in-1s and stuff like that. So, I mean, I remember them dropping like little commercials in there and some of the writers and stuff. I don't remember who wrote for them back in the day, but I do remember all that stuff. Remember Furnace Skate Shop.
Yeah, dude, just their graphic alone is just amazing. You know what I mean? Just like the little flame. They even had this sick like graphic. I remember it was Praise the Blaze. And just the color schemes they do and just like everything about it. I don't know. It's just, and they're just, like I said, for the community, for the skaters, like they're there to support, you know. They helped me so much in my coming up, I guess, in the skate, you know, industry. Cause they were always there for me, you know, when I needed boards, I would go in there, you know, just hooking me up. And then, eventually they even got me through, with a team, BK, he's a sales rep. And that was like, I guess kind of like a big, start for me and sponsorship and like, you know, actually like doing something with skateboarding was, you know, getting a package from like, you know, this sales rep guy who worked with them and stuff. Yeah. So that was amazing. I remember getting my first package. I was like, it didn't feel real. You know what I mean? I remember like I said, the guy, Randy, the owner, he was like, Team BK was hyped on, he showed him my footage. Cause like I said, I was going in the shop, showing them all my footage. And he's like, yeah, he was hyped on it. So he's got a package for you. It's at the shop. So I remember going there one day and picking it up and I just was like blown away. You know, it was like just a surreal moment of like, there's like these shoes, there's these clothes, like all this gear for free for me, just for my skating, you know, like it's just, it's crazy how it works. Cause like obviously you like have hopes and like dreams, but then when it's actually like tangible or real and like you can see it, you're like, whoa, this is, I guess, a possibility, or this is cool, you know, like, I don't know, it's just a trip.
And one of the questions I want to ask you is do you feel that like supporting your local skate shop is a very important thing instead of going to like, you know, a mall store or anything, or a mall corporate store or anything like that?
Oh yeah, dude, 100%. Like I can't even imagine where I'd be at because like, to be honest, between you and me, I don't think I'd be a professional skateboarder if it wasn't for Furnace Skate Shop. And that's like straight up like a shop like that, a core skate shop that like actually like supports you as an individual, your skateboarding, like your style, like what you're doing. And they can not only help you out, you know, with them, but like get you connected in the industry with, like I said, sales reps and other people who, you know, represent other companies or potentially even getting you on another company, you know, sponsorship. It's like, that's just the night and day difference. Cause I feel like that just honestly can't happen going to like a mall skate shop. Yeah. You're talking like a Zoomies or CCS or something like that. Like those are cool maybe for certain things. Like I remember going into like a Zoomies and buying like a DVD, you know, because I was at the mall anyways. And I was like, oh, I want to get a skate video. And I was like, oh, they probably have that. So, you know, I think there's certain things, certain places and certain things you can get through different, you know, places. Like, so yeah, a skate shop, like a core skate shop, I think is just something that's so important for like somebody who's like actually trying to do something, I feel like, into the skate industry, as opposed to somebody who's just having fun with it and, you know, cruising. And like, cause like I said, everybody at the end of the day can do what they want with skateboarding. You know, if you want to do something with it, or if you're just having fun, then yeah, there's, I guess, certain places for that. So yeah, little, you know, Zoomies, CCS like that, that's cool, whatever. But a core skate shop did a lot for me personally. So
no, I agree with you on that. I mean, local skate shops, I mean, that's what you know, when I was growing up, you know, I started skating like in like 87, and I got more into it in 87, but I was skating, you know, pushing around and all that stuff, having a Walmart board and all that. But, you know, but I mean, my official real board was a homie that gave me, that found a board at the YMCA, and I was like, oh, here's a brand new Pal Peralta board for you, you know, it's dope. But then I started going to a local skate shop. It was a surf skate shop in my area, and it was called Interlight. And so that was the shop that I've always gone to because, you know, the manager or the general manager of that store, Mike, super cool dude, you know what I mean? Like, we all hung out there, went to Subway, got skate around, you know, the area, stuff like that, and then go back and hang out. And he was always cool with us. So, I mean, I 100% agree with you. I mean, like, local skate shops is a very important thing for, you know, this generation needs to understand, like, you got to support that. You know, this is the roots of skateboarding. You know, if it wasn't skateboarding, there wouldn't be a skate shop, you know?
Exactly.
You know, so hopefully they'll start learning to support, you know, local skate shops. But what can you do, right?
Yeah, like I said, absolutely. I think it's just going to them first and foremost. You know, there's, like I said, certain places and reasons for certain things. But yeah, I feel like if you're trying to set up your first board ever, go to like a skate shop, because they're really gonna like help you out. No, you know, because most of the time, like, it's gonna be an actual skateboarder working in a skate shop. You know what I mean? Like a core skate shop. Like, so yeah, it's just, you know.
And they definitely know how to grip tape too.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, because yeah, I'm pretty sure I might have even gotten like a grip tape at like a Zoomies before, and a guy gripped it for me before I started learning how to grip and stuff, and he probably didn't, you know, do it as good as a guy in a skate shop would. So yeah, you know, like I said, it's no hate per se, but it's just, you know, it's kind of like there's, you know, just certain reasons and things like, and I feel like, yeah, the skate shop is just essential to like the skate industry and community, because like if there wasn't any skate shops out there, then we couldn't even have skateboarding and professional skateboarding and stuff. You know, it's just, it has to be there. You know, like, no, it can't just be 100% online or these like mall stores. It's got to be like the skate shops, you know, because that's just kind of how it goes, like full circle.
Yeah, and we wouldn't have like a Tony Hawk, Steve Cavallero, Lance Mountain, and, you know, names that go on and on and on, you know, if we didn't have skate shops, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
And who were the skateboarders that inspired you growing up, and how did they influence your style?
Man, there's so many.
I know you got a
Obviously,
list.
like, you know, I can try to pin down to some names, and like, you know, there's some like legend status ones and some like, you know, OGs and people I can think of. Like, one, of course, I think that inspires a lot of people is Day One Song. He's just, like I said, that's like a legend, you know, like there's somebody like that who's just, you know, just seems like next level, like superstar, like on a skateboard. Like they can do whatever they want, however they want. And it looks so good, like that, where it's just going to inspire so many people to where like, you're like, man, like that is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen anybody do that. So you're like, maybe not thinking, okay, I can mimic that. I could, but it just inspires you to just want to do good on a skateboard too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So someone like that, I think, has just been like an inspiration to me, and I'm sure so many others. I remember, to be honest, like I think some of my first like skate videos even that I officially got, they probably inspired me, was like, I had like Dark Star Battalion. I had like Flip Sorry, Really Sorry. I think those ones. So like some of those guys, honestly, I think inspired my skateboarding in a sense when I first started, you know. So there's like Mark Appleyard, Jeff Rowley,
Tom Penny.
Dark Star. Yeah, Tom Penny, of course. Dark Star, there was like, God, so many people on there, like Guy Camp Fiend, Galila Mamalu, who else? Freaking, I might be saying his name wrong. But yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah, dude, there's just so many like OGs like that. And then now I think of even like people, you know, God, I can't even mention like someone like, to be honest, Mark Johnson, man,
Oh
like,
and
rest in peace to him. Like, yeah, that one hit me really hard too, to be honest, because I feel like I remember when his part came out in Fully Flared, and I feel like everybody did, and like that's something, you know, that just, it inspired so many people in a way to where, like I said, it's just when you push the envelope and like what is possible on a skateboard, and like you're opening like new tricks, you know, like, and it opens up people's minds to like, okay, this is what's, you know, I guess actually possible on a skateboard, and you could just keep going and pushing it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just so many people like that, you know what I mean, just like where they can do their thing and make it look so good, and then it just inspires you to like, you know, okay, I want to do this too, and then how am I going to do this myself, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, definitely true. I mean, I grew up when I started. I mean, yeah, you know, I had like Hal Peralta videos, and you know, Bandits, you know, all that stuff. But the one that mostly stood out to me was Matt Hensley. I mean, like I used to have posters up on my wall on him, and and copy his style with his chain wallet and cut off shorts and all that stuff. Because I mean, I liked his style. You know what I mean? Matt Hensley was just so good at any jump ramps, launch ramps, what you want to call it. His style, his street skating was just amazing. That's who I looked up to. And then my second one was Mike Carroll. I mean, his style, and his skating was just so flawless.
Yeah, and it's funny you even mentioned that. I can even mention somebody like, dude, I remember when Heath Kirchart obviously had so many good video parts, right? Like This Is Skateboarding and stuff. But one of my favorites, actually, too, videos, and one of my favorite parts is Minefield. So his part in that video overall. And yeah, I remember, like you said, sometimes not even about the tricks, but just like the skater and like how they might even dress, like their style. And like, that's what's crazy about like how it can inspire people to, not only try to skate like them, but also like try to mimic that style, because it's just kind of like you're so stoked on them and excited on what they're doing. And so you're just trying to get like a, feeling of that to yourself, So I remember even like, I'm pretty sure I was wearing like backwards trucker hats and like trying to like, skate and feel like Heath Kirchart, but not even coming close to like jumping on huge handrails or pubbas. But, just it's so cool how, you mentioned that like sometimes you'll try to even dress or like skate in a style like a certain skater too, and let alone the tricks,
Yeah, I mean, you throw on a white tee, you feel like you're about to jump, do a fat kickflip like Cream Campbell,
Yep.
Nah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think that like how skateboarders, I don't know about now, the generation now, but I mean, when you and me were growing up, and and when I was growing up, how we kind of mimic our favorite skaters and of dressing, and same with music too. You know what I mean? Like, like with music, with punk rock, hip hop, like that, how that mimics us with skateboarding,
Yeah, for sure.
Do you feel like music is very part of big, huge thing for skateboarding?
Yeah, that's another thing too. Like I said, video parts, obviously I think we're in a new age now where there's not really like full length videos as there used to be, because I feel like, soundtracks, like, to a video was like definitely something that, was iconic and made like a skateboard thing, like a great song to a great part kind of like makes the part too. I feel like, to be honest, like it's not just about obviously the skating and the style and stuff, but like if a song fits a part, that just makes it like, I don't know, just stand out too. Because I can think of so many parts that mean something to me, like not just about the tricks and the skater, but even just the song, and just everything kind of worked and flowed. So it's almost like a movie in a sense, you know what I mean? When like there's just this like, it's art, when there's this way that it just all kind of blends and waves together, and it's so great, So I think music definitely plays a hand in like skateboarding and the culture, and like, and then especially a video part, it can be a big deal. It can almost be like a make or break, but I feel like most of the time it is a make. Like people will honestly even discover and find music and artists because of a video part, you know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely. No, I know what you mean. It's crazy to think that music and way people skaters dress and stuff like that, it has a lot of influence on the skate culture, because you don't want to be pushing down the street in a pair of flip flops and board shorts, you know what I mean, and like doing like kick flips and hard flips and a pair of flip flops, Don't get me wrong, there's probably someone that can do that,
Yeah, for
but
sure. If you could pull it off,
not going to be.
Yeah.
And what was the moment you realized skateboarding could become more than just something you love to do?
Like when I noticed that like it could be something like that I could do like professionally. Is that what you mean? Like when did I?
Yeah, something like when did you realize like, man, I could go farther with my skateboarding, be in videos, be in magazines, go on tour, professionally, yes.
Well, like I said, maybe there was that one time where I got like my first official like package from a sponsor, but even more so than that, I think I can even go back to like when I had, I guess, my first like official like video premiere. I just remember that feeling, man. That was like something that, like I said, that was kind of essential back during the time that I, was like coming up skateboarding and whatever, where we were having full length video premieres and like in person, and I'll remember, yeah, we did this video called Ground Control, and it was a pretty like, honestly, I feel like groundbreaking video. I can say that, like, I'm honored to be a part of it. It's not just because of me being in it. There were so many amazing skateboarders in there, and one of them, to be honest, is Chris Joslin. So there's like somebody
Yeah.
like that who was in a video. So I feel like it's so important, not only like, just single parts, but like I said, a full length video. I feel like at that time was just something that kind of launched people's like careers in a sense. Because like I said, I think that that was something that I thought, okay, this could be something more. And then that's a perfect example. Someone like Chris Joslin was in it, and he's, superstar pro too, So I remember we had like a big video premiere. We filmed this, I guess you can call them like what, homie videos or something, because we didn't have any, big sponsorship backing. We just kind of did it on our own. It was my friend, his name's Ilja Moran, but he goes by Ills. He filmed the whole thing. So yeah, it was like years and years and years we dedicated, time just doing it all ourselves. And I think we had some of the skate shops like, backing it, but it wasn't like, like I said, some huge like company like footing the bill and paying for it. Like I'm sure that he paid for it, out of his own pocket. So that way we could have this nice like premiere. We rented out the I think it was the Art Theater in Long Beach, and had like a big premiere. You know what I mean? So I just remember that feeling of like when you first see like your video part like up on the big screen, that's like, it's just crazy. You're like, oh, this is like what the pros do. You know what I mean? Like they have these like big videos and premieres, and like people go and see these parts and like they're inspired, and then it creates like something in them to like keep skating and pushing, so it's so cool. I remember just, yeah, like I said, having that feeling of like, okay, this is like, I guess something that could be more, because I remember being at the premiere and seeing people hyped on my skateboarding. I remember at the time I was like, to be honest, like super hard on myself and like thinking like, oh, like I'm okay. But like, I always feel like I can always do better. And I think that's everybody probably thinks the same way. Like a skater, I feel like that's kind of like, it's almost like a curse in the sense you're thinking like, I can always progress more, like you're almost like, you're fulfilled, but you're never truly fulfilled, because you're like, oh, I got this. So now you're just always kind of, thinking of the next like trick or thing or like clip or like something, but yeah, so it's kind of hard. Like sometimes you got to realize like, I got to be satisfied with, this and what I got, and feel like accomplished or proud. And I remember that was one of those moments where I was like, this is something that I guess, can be something bigger. And I kind of love this feeling. I want to do this,
Yeah. And do you feel like you're someone who likes to battle one trick all day, or do you prefer stacking clips throughout a session?
I definitely love to do both. like, and I will do
film
both,
a lot.
yeah.
I see your clips all the time,
Yeah. Like it's funny. Yeah. I feel like it's just, and that's how skateboarding I feel like works, to be honest. It's like, it doesn't just come easy, like I think for some people, especially people who don't skate, they'll see these like, video parts and like, stuff online and, little clips. They're thinking like, oh, this looked easy to them. Cause let's say if you land it really clean or something, they might think this was like first try. It's like, no, some of these tricks take like hours or multiple hours or sessions, or like you had to go back. You had to like, worry about, especially street clips, getting kicked out, or somebody's there, or the spot's gone, or like, you got to find a new spot. Like there's just so much mentally that goes into like these tricks and like, just, sessioning and skating, to where like, yeah, it's not just like something that necessarily comes easy, even if it can look easy, if, like you said, like I said, the skater like lands it clean or something, so yeah, I'm a little bit of both. Like I said, I kind of, I love the stack, obviously. Like it's nice to, that's kind of how my mind works, like thinking about the next thing. So like getting a lot of good solid clips is like always a good feeling. You feel like accomplished, but sometimes too, it's a great feeling to where you put in all that work and like something is just taking like its toll on you. And it's like, it's more of a mental at that point too. You're like, I got to overcome this like trick. And sometimes you could be stubborn, and sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. But that feeling of when you do win and when you accomplish, like I said, a battle that you're trying a trick for hours and hours, nothing really compares to that. I don't know. It's just this like euphoric, like release of all this stress and tension of like, and then it's just triumph. And like, like I said, just, you're like, yes, I finally like got this, that I knew I could do it. I just had to take my time with it, sometimes longer than others. And I figured it out,
Yeah. No, that's right. I mean, that's the way to do it, And what's the hardest trick you ever landed for a video part or for a clip?
Oh man. There's been a few. Yeah. I think like there's been some where I had to go back like a few times. I'm trying to think of like, yeah, because that's always hard to pinpoint. Like if you say like hard, like difficulty wise, or just hard, like it was like a struggle, or like, it took a while.
Like a struggle. Like you're just like, oh, I got to go back like another time. Oh man, I almost had that. I got to go back and do it again. Like I have to land this trick, for this video part, for this clip,
Yeah, I mean, I think I had some clips, like if I'm thinking way back in like mentioning the video ground control, there were some that like I had to probably go back like 2 or 3 times. Oh yeah, I remember like I did like a nollie big spin down like a 12 stair. It was like Brea 12 back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I broke like 3 boards on that too or something.
Oh, shit.
And like, yeah, I think I had like an old deck, didn't set up a new one. I had a new one on backup, which I probably should just set up in the first place. But yeah, I ended up breaking that deck. Yeah, so actually that was a battle right there. I remember that. And it was, luckily that was all one session, but still it was like I had one older used board and I broke that, and I was getting close though. And then I remember, instead of setting up my new board, I saw my friend had a board and he rode the same size, whatever, complete. I was like, hey, can I just borrow your board really quick? I'm feeling it right now. I'm getting close. Like, can I just get it on yours? And then I remember trying on his, and I feel bad. I ended up breaking his board. And it was his board that he like gave up for me because he thought, I'm going to land it. And I broke his board, and then I ended up having to set up my new board anyways, and then landing it on my new board finally, which, like I said, maybe if I would just set it up in the first place, I probably could have got it. So that was kind of like a battle. I remember like, going through 3 boards. So there's things like that can happen. I'm sure I went to like a spot like 3 times before I finally like, got a clip too, like, like where you're just battling it and it just doesn't work that day, and then you have to like, think about it all over, and you're just like super like stressed and bummed, feeling defeated. And then you go back again, you battle it out. And, the thing with it is you'll be getting close too. So it's like, it's possible, but then, for whatever reason, it just doesn't work that day. And then you got to go back again, and then sure enough, sometimes like by the 3rd or 4th session, even you finally end up, finally getting the make, yeah, which actually I remember now too. That was one, I think it was, in my time code theory part. So it wasn't in ground control. I did so now I'm remembering this trick. This is probably one of my favorite tricks too, like my hardest tricks I've ever done. It was a switch tail slide, and it was over this like ledge to like manual. So it's a ledge gap, like, over like some dirt, and then it lands into like curb. So like ledge to manual trick. So the switch tail slide, big spin out to manual, and then backside flip out. And I think I went there at least 3 times. I remember getting a sequence of it, going, like I said, back 3 times to film it and stuff. And yeah, that was just one that like, I'll never forget the feeling like landing that, because that was just such a mental, like, I think when I first went there, I played around with it thinking like, oh, like maybe. And like, I actually got close like the first time ever. So maybe if I would have like took it serious, I probably could have landed it the first time. But I remember I wasn't sure. And that's how skateboarding can work sometimes. You're just trying to like, oh, like this seems too hard, but like, let me try to physically try it and see if it gets close. And sure enough, you might. And then you're like, all right, I guess I can possibly do this. And you battle out, and then you don't. But I remember, like I said, I think going 2 or 3 times. By the 3rd session, I was ready to like I said, go to war, like till the very end. And sure enough, I didn't have to. I think by the 3rd session, it didn't take too long, because I'd already gone there enough times to figure out like, the right speed, how to land, how to, what I mean? And yeah, figure it out and was able to roll away. So that's probably one of my hardest and favorite tricks I've probably done in my skate career for sure. Cause yeah, it was like a triple combo. That's it's like 4 tricks in one or something. So
dude, that's crazy, dude. And your style is amazing. I mean, I see your clips all the time, and just watching them, and you just got that style. You like that, like your flip in, flip out tricks, or your Manny tricks, like how you skate. It's really, you put a lot of time into it,
Oh no, thanks, Tommy. Yeah, it didn't feel like that in the beginning. Trust me, like it didn't come overnight. So thank you, man. It means a lot. Like, yeah, because I feel like style definitely does not come easy sometimes for some people it does. But yeah, I feel like for me, it took me a while to figure out, like, I don't know how to really feel comfortable on a board. And like I said, to feel like my own, like, unique style, or like how I skate and what feels right. Cause yeah, you know, you can like force things and like make it look good in a sense, but you can always kind of tell like if it's something that like looks organic or if it doesn't. And I feel like it took me years and years and years to figure that out finally, to where, like I said, I was, just trying to feel comfortable on a board and landing tricks a certain way, you know, and like, yeah, because you can do a technical trick, but I feel like it does matter, like, you know, how you do it, like from start to finish, especially the landing, I feel like is always most important, right? Because it's like you can do a trick really well, like everything about it, but then if you land sketchy, that's always going to be like a bummer for both the person who does it. I feel like you're always going to be hard on yourself, and then people who watch it are always going to critique, like, you know, oh yeah, that, you know, there was toe drag or, you know, hand touch or something, you know what I mean? So I think it's important to not only focus on the trick itself, but like, yeah, like how do you envision it in your head and want to do it in real life and execute that, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. No, 100% agree with you. And is there a spot that you always wanted to skate but haven't had a chance yet?
Oh, like an iconic spot or just in general? Like
just like an iconic spot, or a spot that you know, you're going to the grocery store or road trip or whatever, you see, you're like, oh shoot, I want to skate the spot, but you always forget about it. But then you see it again, you want to skate again, like anything like that.
I mean, yeah, I guess I could even say this, but like I know it's probably never going to happen. But it's just funny that like I feel like I've seen so many people skate like Hollywood, like 12 and 16. And some people make it look like so doable and easy, to where like, you know, it makes you like think like, okay, maybe I could do something there, you know, just do something different or whatever. And I've been there in person too. I think I even like ollied the 12 back in the day. Thought about doing the 16, but it's pretty damn big. So, you know, you got to be just like ready to go for it. You can't just kind of play around with something like that. You know, you got to like, I feel like honestly practice a trick before you go there, you know, and I've seen so many pros like do so much amazing things there. So, you know, that's a spot I've always thought of, like, you know, like, shoot, like I got a good switch front heel. Like maybe I could freaking switch front heel over the fence or something crazy. You know?
That'd be sick,
So,
dude. I gotta see that, man.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's just how my brain works sometimes. But then going to a spot in person, then you're like, oh my God, like this thing's huge. And then you get in your head, you tell yourself like, you know, maybe you can't do it. But then sometimes you got to just, like I said, not let that side of you, you know, overtake. If you, like I said, practice something, you really want something, you can go out there and do it. Like you can do anything you want if, you know, you overcome that fear and have that resilience. And like, I don't know, just having that spirit of like, you know, this is something I really want to like physically create in my lifetime in this like world, you know? So like, there's a way to do it, you know, you just got to overcome that. Like, it's almost a mental block or obstacle sometimes, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. And
so, yeah, don't hold me to that. Like,
I am going to hold you to that.
Go
like,
there and, you know,
I think everybody who's going to listen to this is going to hold you to that. You know, they're going to be like, "Hey, so what's up, Phil? Are you going to do that? Or when you want to go to Hollywood?"
Yeah, yeah. It's just always something I don't know. I've thought of like maybe, you know, like, yeah. So something like an OG spot like that. Of course, there's been so many like I feel like dream spots that just kind of come and go. I remember like going to Macba. That was amazing. So that was a dream come true, actually. When I traveled to Barcelona, that was my first out of country experience. And going to that, you know, Macba Plaza, skating that place. That was, yeah, I never thought in a million years I would be able to go somewhere like that and skate. And it's just everything you could possibly think of in real life. That's like a dream come true, like physical skate spot, you know, like there's just everything you could possibly, you know, do there, from ledges to even drops and stuff, you know, like, yeah. So that was one actually that I did accomplish in a sense. Like I got to go and skate and do some tricks. Of course I wish I would have done more there. I think we just went for fun. I just like posted and filmed some stuff for fun. You know, it was just like a homie trip. It wasn't like a serious skate, you know, trip to where like you're trying to film for a video part or something, you know? So yeah, but definitely there's always spots popping up like left and right, you know, that they come and go, you know, and that's just how this world works with skateboarding, right? It's like these spots are just, they're either there forever or they're just there for a minute, you know? So it's like, you got to kind of get it when you can. That's how I try to kind of think. So who knows? Maybe I will go try to freaking go to Hollywood soon. All
right, man.
If we line up a film,
you put that vibe out there, man.
What's that?
I say you're putting that vibe out there now.
I know. Well, like I said, yeah, it's all it takes is just, telling yourself like maybe it's possible, it's just that spark. You got to start that spark, and,
Yeah.
you can put anything into, real life and perspective is all it matters, so.
And Madrid Skateboard has one of the richest histories in skateboarding. What does it mean to represent that legacy and being pro for them?
Yeah, so it's crazy to be honest too. Madrid, and Full Circle Distribution, and yeah, all that. I feel like it's just came like to me like just from somebody who grew up skating in Orange County. And I remember even like skating in like Huntington Beach, like back in the day, going to like the old skate park and like going to the high school and like, just having fun, like trying to get some, practice in and good tricks. And yeah, at that time we didn't have like Instagram, social media. So we don't really like posting stuff or filming stuff per se. Like I would be like kick flipping a six there for fun, which nowadays I'm like, no, I got to film that and post it up on, Instagram or social media. So I just remember like growing up, like I said, in Orange County and skating around, and for a company like Madrid Skateboards, it comes out of like Huntington, Jerry Madrid, and like, it's just iconic for sure. It's like, to me, I'm super proud to ride for them, a brand that like, I feel like it really represents skateboarding and just the graphics that they've had over so many years. Yeah, because it's been 50 years now. And, I'm just truly honored. And I feel like, I'm just so stoked on what they're doing, what I'm able to like put out for them. And yeah, I even got a little new graphic coming soon, actually. So I'm pretty stoked on that as well.
Yeah, and they just got, put into the Skateboard Hall of Fame too this year.
Yeah, Jerry Madrid, yeah, inducted into the Skateboard Hall of Fame. I know, super stoked for him and that, because yeah, I feel like it's kind of a big deal. Like, he's helped, like I said, the culture. He's been involved with skateboarding so much, like literally creating skateboards and making skateboards, and like, so I'm just so glad to see like them and him get honored and stuff. Because yeah, I feel like Madrid is, it's been around, of course, but there's other companies who, are just kind of more like in the spotlight, and it's just nice to see like Madrid, and Jerry like get some, what's to say, like flowers or like some shine as well,
Definitely. I mean, they've been around forever. Like you said, 50 years. And when they turned you pro, take us back to that. Like, what was it like? I mean, did you feel like a little kid opening a Christmas present? I mean, take us back to that scene when they turned you pro for Madrid.
Yeah, I mean, we had a big video premiere called Momentum. So we actually did kind of do like a full length. So that was kind of a big deal too. Because like I said, I feel like most companies and skateboarding, they're not really doing full length videos. But we decided, we were going to do like a full length and film for it. It's my friend and TM and pro for the company too, Daniel Yeager. He, was like really backing me and stuff, and he was like pushing me to film, a full part for this video and stuff. And then, so sure enough, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna do my best to, recreate, like I said, that feeling I had from Ground Control. Like I'm gonna do like the most I can possibly do, push myself, because I want to do something again that I'm truly proud of, and like hopefully inspires, a new generation of skaters, because this is a new generation now, because even back then to Ground Control, that was 2012, so it's been 14 years or whatever. It's like, the generations keep coming and going. So I just remember that night, like we had a full premiere. I ended up getting last part too, which was a goal of mine. Actually, I had truly like kind of always wanted to like maybe have last part. I just never thought I was good enough or could have it, because I don't know, just like you said, always being hard on yourself, like, oh, like I'm okay, but I could do better. But yeah, I remember having last part in the video, and then sure enough, like after the video ended, then introduced as new pro for Madrid, seeing my board and stuff. So yeah, it was a pretty big deal. Like that was a pretty amazing night. Like I'll never forget that night, just being able to like see a dream come true in real life, in real time, like, something that like I've been skating for 24 years, so over a couple decades. And like, for most people, it's like, if you don't make it within like even a decade, like that's probably your time is up. But to see that happen for me, it's such a later time in my skate career and also my age, and just to see the board and being hyped on it and just people being hyped on me and like proud. It's just, yeah, there's almost like not enough words, just extreme gratitude, you know?
Yeah. And do you feel like turning pro, like it motivated you more, or did it kind of like, okay, I'm pro now, I'm done, I don't want to try so hard?
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Like I feel like, and that's just speaking from me personally, like someone like me, I feel like I'm always striving for like more and like to do better. I feel like that's just kind of like a goal. It's like, you should never just like settle, you know, like of course you should be proud of what you can accomplish, but it's nice to kind of like always have like, you know, just higher, I guess, expectations or something to look forward to. So of course, like once you turn pro, that's like the biggest, like I said, just accomplishment in usually like skateboarding, you know, in general. But there's always something more, you know, like for example, to be honest, I'm actually getting an ad in a magazine, so I'm really extremely
What?
stoked on that. Yeah, because of Madrid Skateboards as well. So, you know, that's an honor too. It's like I never would have thought in a million years, like not only turning pro for a company, but to be able to have like my first professional ad in a magazine, you know, and just having pro model boards and stuff. So there's always like another thing that you can like kind of strive for and like try to push yourself and like, you know, and video parts and stuff, you know. So yeah, it's just, it's kind of never ending. It's like, you
Yeah.
know, just, it's a, I didn't want to say like a good and bad thing. It's more good for sure. Because like I said, sometimes you got to realize like I got to be happy with what I can do and get, you know, and feel proud of stuff. But yeah, I'm just always striving to like, you know, do more too, and accomplish more and be proud of that as well, you know.
No, that's congratulations on your first ad, man. I mean, that's a big honor.
Yeah, I'm definitely stoked. Yeah, because I only had I think one other ad before. This was actually another dream come true. Was in Thrasher for Nixon. They did this like campaign for the OPP watch. I don't know if you ever knew about that one or saw or heard about that watch.
Yeah, I heard about that.
You know, with the recycled plastic and stuff. And yeah, I remember being in that ad actually. You know, they hit me up like, hey, you want to be, you know, one of the models for this, you know, just wearing the watch and stuff. And sure enough, I ended up making it like it was a whole collage of us, like, you know, all the writers, and I made it in there. So that was surreal too, you know, like to make it in Thrasher magazine. It wasn't a skate trick, of course, but still, you know, to me, that was like a big accomplishment. And then this one, like I said, coming up is an actual skate trick, you know, so.
Well, I can't wait to see this ad, man. I'm kind of picturing what kind of trick you're doing, but don't tell me. Don't tell anybody. You know, keep it a surprise.
Yeah, no, for sure. I know I might be leaking a couple things, but yeah. No, I think Madrid even posted like something about my new graphic coming soon. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked on, like I said, everything that they're doing and what they've done for me. And yeah, so I'm just excited, you know, to constantly keep progressing and, you know, keep doing what I love to do, because I can't stop. I can't imagine doing something else besides skateboarding, you know?
Yeah. And you have built relationships with like brands like Madrid and BK, Furnace, Nixon, FP, Footwear, Audubon, Omix, and Hub Bearings. What makes those partnerships work?
I think it just comes down to like, when somebody sees something in you and willing to like back you, it like lights a fire in you, and then you just like appreciate them so much to where, like I said, I just push like anybody who's willing to like help me out in my skateboarding out and supporting me. I want them to like succeed and win and support them, you know? So like, yeah, just all the brands that represent me. Yeah. I'm just so grateful for them and like what they've done for me in my skateboarding. So I just always want to like push them, you know, as well. So yeah, it's nice that you mentioned too, like not only we're talking about, you know, Furnace, of course, and Madrid, and then Team BK, but yeah, you know, having like Nixon, Omeek brand, and having FP footwear and insoles, you know, backing and pushing me, you know what I mean? Like, and Hub Bearings and all these sponsors. It's just, you know, it's a dream come true in a sense, you know, because I would have never thought like having one sponsor, let alone like multiples, you know, like it's just, it's an honor, it's a privilege, and I don't take it for granted. And I just want to, you know, support and back them as best as I can, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely agree with you. I mean, having, it's like with anything you do, you know, with baseball, football, surfing, snowboarding, anything you do, you always want to have, you know, something, a sponsor or whatever to back you, to motivate you more to get out there and do more stuff, you know?
Yes, it's definitely motivating for sure. Yeah. So like I said, because I think we can be our own worst critics in our head sometimes as a skateboarder. It's a mental block
Yep.
we have to overcome sometimes, especially like I said, when a trick wins or, you're just having an off day or something, you can get in your head thinking like, I can't do this. But when you have sponsors and people who like are in your corner and backing you and what you're doing and, they're proud of you, then that sparks, like I said, a drive internally into you to where you're like, okay, yeah, of course I'm doing this for me at the end of the day, but like there's other people who are hyped on what I'm doing. They're inspired by it and I can probably inspire people. So it's like, why not just keep pushing myself,
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And for some of the up and coming skateboarders that have what are some of the up and coming skateboarders that have your attention right now?
Man, up and comers. I'm just blown away, to be honest. Like, what's that?
I said, there's a lot. Trust me.
Yeah, and then like especially like competition level, like because to be honest, like so I'm obviously like more of a street skateboarder. I've done like some contests, like smaller ones. Like I think Transworld used to host some, and I used to even do like the Damn Ams and stuff. But yeah, watching like, the level of like, Street League and X Games and stuff like that, like, man, there's just these kids now too. And they're like just literal kids, like, just killing it. Like obviously there's like this guy, Jinwoo, like that. He's like the next, like Nigel Houston, like Nigel's been just, on top for so many years and years and years and deserving because he's just absolutely so talented. But then there's these kids now, they're just like so young and they're just like so fired up and just doing the most insane, like next level tricks that you can never possibly think of or dream of. And they're putting it into reality, in these contests, which is harder to me. So I feel like at least for a street part, I can dedicate hours to landing one trick. These guys got to land this trick first try, so it's like, it's mind blowing. That's the thing too, is the consistency, because it's one thing being a good skateboarder where you can do hard tricks, but being consistent with these tricks is just like next level. So yeah, like I said, just seeing these young kids getting like first, second place, like overcoming these like top tier pros who have been doing it for years and years and years now. The level and progression of skateboarding is just insane, yeah. There's like some other kid, I can't remember his name. He just won, I think, too. I just watched the X Games in Sacramento that just happened, and he did like a freaking nollie 270 heel flip board slide to 270 out down like a 12-stir handrail. Like,
was it Julian or no?
No, he's another kid from Japan. Yeah, I forget how to pronounce his name.
Japanese kids are killing it, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's like a young Japanese kid. So like I said, there's Jinwoo is the other one, but this is another guy who's coming up. He might even be, I can't remember if he's from Japan or Korea, but just he's like young and killing it. Like you just seeing these tricks happen in real time that you would have never thought in a million years could have happened in real life and in a contest, let alone. It's like Tony Hawk's pro skater in real life, it's just unheard of. So
it's true what you said. It's like watching Tony Hawk pro skater, in real life.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just it's awesome to see it, to be honest. It still inspires me, like like obviously I'm not doing no nollie 270 heel board side 270s down some 12-stair handrail, but hey, if I can do a version or technical trick like something to mimic that or just inspired off of something like that, then that's what skateboarding is about. It's like you don't have to necessarily recreate that same trick, but it can hype you up to go skate, and do your own thing.
Yeah. And what advice would you give a young skater who's chasing sponsors for the first time?
Man, I think the best thing is, and what I've learned, like for doing it for so many years and stuff, is just, like I said, trying not to, necessarily listen to that like negative side in your brain and like other people, because of course too, at the end of the day, I feel like you're not going to be able to like inspire everybody. Not everybody's going to be hyped on like what you're doing in skateboarding and stuff, and that's okay. I think that's just life too. Like I think skateboarding teaches you like honestly so many like life like things that not everybody is in your corner, but like you don't have to listen to those voices in that side. Like if you're in your corner, if you have like a solid set of people in your corner and you're doing your thing and you feel good, and that's what matters the most too, is like if you truly love it, like you won't give that up for anything and anybody, like let alone, like I said, it's just something to where you got to realize, like, I'm doing this for me. I love this feeling of like these tricks, the progression, like whatever you love about skateboarding, just
Yeah.
hold on to that. Don't listen to all of the negativity and like the hate that can come your way. And don't try too hard too, because like that's one thing, like I said, you can like learn to the hard way. Is like just try to be as organic as you can with yourself and like what you're doing. Because like I say, you can push it, but it comes to a point you just gotta hold on to who you are in skateboarding and what you're doing, and not be pushing it to a certain point. So yeah, just doing it for the passion. That's the biggest thing too. I think it's just, you got to have the passion for it, and that's got to continue to stay there too, because I feel like sometimes you can have the passion in the beginning and it can fizzle out, because like I said, just life experiences and negative things happen and stuff, but just don't let that wear you down and put out your fire and that like spark that you first had, like when you're first typed on skateboarding,
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. Just don't read those comments on your social media. Don't, just do you. Don't listen, like you said, Phil, just do you and don't worry about anybody else. And, you're not out there trying to make everybody happy. Not everybody's going to be happy what you're doing, but, as long as you're out there having fun, that's all that matters,
Yeah, like it's exactly like you can't mimic not everybody can be the same, because that wouldn't be skateboarding, or like there'd be no point to it, like I think it's actually a good thing that like everybody is different, does their own thing, like so it is good to like stand out or do your own thing, like, and if you get made fun of by one person for that, like, but you're doing you and like what you love to do and how you like to do it, like that actually adds to the community and like this whole thing that we're doing, you know what I mean? Because like it's just so special what we have, like skateboarding, it's just, there's really nothing truly like it, like a lot of things can mimic it, but nothing else out there is truly like skateboarding as a whole,
And then how do you stay motivated to keep progressing after all these years?
Yeah, man, that is
that's a good
something
one, right?
I tell myself as I get older. Yeah, because that's the thing too. You find out, like as you get older, obviously tricks get harder per se, like because your body physically kind of gets just a little more like worn out easier, or tired, or not as resilient. But it's just all about having that mindset of like, the thing that I truly love about skateboarding so much is I can never win. Like I can never be just the best ever. And that's just myself. Like I'm not competing against anybody but myself. Like I'm not comparing myself to, like I said, a Nigel Houston or a Jinwoo or something. It's like I'm just competing against myself. Like what can I physically do on, this skateboard? Like what is possible, So yeah, just having that progression of like, I don't know, there's just always endless possibilities, and all you got to do is just put yourself out there and try. And if it doesn't work one day, maybe it'll work another day. Maybe you move on. Just getting creative with it, skating differently too. Sometimes it doesn't have to be like an NBD or like something so extremely difficult that's going to take you hours and hours and hours. Maybe it's just something you haven't really done in a long time, or like skating a different type of obstacle, or like a different, style, or, aesthetic, a new spot, just so many different ways to look at it. Like I said, it's just a freaking, skateboarding is like a blank canvas. Like, the world is just, we can do whatever we want with it. You know what I mean? So having that like artistic mindset of like, oh, okay, like I haven't painted this yet, like in, this way, or like I haven't done this, or, so it's just having that kind of, I guess, mindset helps a lot with progression and being able to still do what I love to do. And at my age,
Yeah, definitely. And, a couple more questions. Looking ahead, what goals are still on your list that you want to accomplish in skateboarding?
Oh man. Well, that's a tough one, but
Hey, these are always the last two are always the tough ones for you, man.
Yeah. I always just want to have like, I don't know, another video part where I'm just like feeling fully fulfilled with like, I don't know, from start to finish about it. Cause I feel like I've had a lot of parts and I'm proud of them. And I just always strive for like one that like, just from A to B, from start to finish, is just like something that I know like that I put in my heart and soul, and like, was this able to accomplish like everything that I possibly want to do with that, and I feel like it's hard because, there's life comes in between, and, there's so many like things that will stop you from doing that. But at the end of the day, it's also kind of a good thing that I think have like that goal or perspective of like, you know, it strives you to just keep progressing and doing, you know, something more with it to where, you know, like I said, I don't want to just have a part and then end on that part. Like, okay, you know, I'm good now. Like, I feel like this was my last part. It's like, no, I always want to strive to do like, you know, a better one or the next like one that like truly, you know, brings just contentment to myself, you know? So I think something like that, just having a really, really meaningful, impactful video part, that always, you know, is something I strive for. And I think it's just always what I've been since I've started skateboarding, like I said, with having, you know, a big video premiere and a big video and being a part of that. And then, I mean, who knows? I don't know, just doing something in the skate community, giving back. Just if I'm able to ever do that in my lifetime, it'd be incredible. Whether that was like having my own brand or like, you know, representing something just like in a way to where, like I said, if I have an opportunity to give back, because I was a skateboarder who like, I did not have like the support from like, you know, family really necessarily. I didn't have the support, you know, like financially and stuff. So like to be able to have that, I think helps so much. And so like, if you're able to kind of like be in a situation where you can, you know, do that for somebody, like that means a lot for, like I said, someone like me who came from like, you know, a hard situation. I think it's good to give back to, because you know where like you came from, you know where you're at now, and you're almost even more grateful for it. So like you appreciate it and you can give back, you know?
No, definitely. I mean, giving back to, you know, this, to the skate community and helping out and doing all that, that's a very important thing. You know, good, actually a good accomplished thing in skateboarding to do, you know, because if you give back, then you're helping out the next generation of skaters to get into what you love to do.
Yep. 100%.
And then you ready for your last hard question?
Sure. I thought that was the hardest one, but yeah.
I got a hard one for you. So when it's all said and done, what do you hope your legacy is within skateboarding?
Okay. Yeah. You weren't kidding about a hard one. My legacy in skateboarding, man, I really hope it's just like that people see like how much I loved it and was passionate about it. And then that I hope that like they feel what I feel and like that sparks like that passion and drive in them, you know, because it's not just about me. Like I love it so much. Like I can't say enough. Like I could almost get emotional and like be brought to tears. Like literally, you can't see me right now, but like I'm literally getting emotional thinking about how much skateboarding has done for me, and like it's saved my life. It's literally like been there for me. And so I just hope that like my skateboarding and whatever can like help somebody, you know, to feel like how I feel and help them get out of like, you know, like I said, just whatever you're going through. Like skateboarding is always there for you. I feel like, you know, it can be such a lifesaver. It can be, and it could be, to be honest with you and me, it could be a real beast sometimes, right, Tommy? When, like I said, you're just trying, it feels like it's not working out. But I feel like overall, skateboarding is just, it's so beautiful. It's just so different. It's something that nothing really compares to that feeling of like, even just you having a bad day and you can cruise down the street and that can change your whole like perspective in like one push, or like you going out and battling a trick for hours and hours and hours and whatever, and then landing that and then having that like tangible. And that's the thing, like having something tangible, like something you can showcase to the world, like, hey, I've accomplished this, you know, like you can see this, like this is real, like, you know, and you don't even know what, like, you know, had to go into this, but you can see what I did, you know, so that's what's cool about it.
No, I definitely agree with you. I mean, because I mean, skateboarding, you know, people say, oh, skateboard saved my life, or you know, and it's true. I mean, you can be, you know, dealing with so much in your life, and you just grab that piece of wood and that metal with the urethane on that wood, and just cruise down the street, and like you said, just do a couple tricks, and or you're just like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna cruise down and watch the sunset real quick, you know what I mean, just to clear my mind, and then you come back and you're just like such a whole total different person. So I definitely agree with you on that, you know.
Yep, you said it best right there, Tommy.
And do you feel your legacy will be, you know, pretty strong?
I hope so. I mean, like I'm on YouTube and stuff, and like I have my parts up there for like people to see, and like I've gotten some pretty like amazing feedback. So that always triumphs over like if I've ever gotten any negative. I just think about like what I'm doing and like if it inspires others, like, just, yeah, that brings so much joy to me. And like, to know like that this thing that we do, that we all love, can bring so much community and like support to one another, and like that we're able to showcase our talents, and like what we've been blessed with, like our just, yeah, God-given gift of skating. It's just a beautiful thing.
Oh, definitely. And then what do you have coming up for the rest of 2026? I know you said about your new graphics and the ad. Anything else like tours or another video part or anything?
Yes. So like I said, I'm working on a video part that it's just always kind of like something, a goal of mine. I want to just put something out there that I'm very proud of, that people are going to be stoked on and want to go skate. So yeah, I'm trying to push for a new street video part. Hopefully, before the end of this year. So yeah, 2026. So look out for, yeah, a new street video part. And then like I kind of touched on and mentioned, I do got a new pro graphic from Madrid coming out pretty soon. So I'm really stoked on that because, yeah, it's just a great company. I'm proud of the graphics that they come out with. And then I also, have that ad coming out. I believe it's Downward Magazine. So those are the couple big things, to look out for.
Okay. And where can people follow you? You said you got a YouTube, social media, TikTok, anything?
Yeah. So pretty much all my media outlets, I think, is just my name. So Phil, Phil, and then Ceja. It's spelled Ceja. So it's spelled different than how it sounds. Yeah. So Phil Ceja on Instagram. I think on YouTube, it's probably just the same. If not, it's Philip. And then also, yeah, I'm on TikTok, I think, too, as Philip Ceja as well, or Phil Ceja. So yeah, you can find me on pretty much all three of those outlets, I think, is the ones I'm mostly on, is Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok as Philip or Phil Ceja.
All right, cool. Well, you hear that, guys. Go follow Phil, man. And let me tell you, you're going to be amazed by all his clips because this dude kills it, dude. He's like, yeah, you just got to check it out. Well, Phil, thank you so much for coming on, man. And hey, I've been watching your journey for a long time, and I'm so proud of you turning pro and everything that's going on in your life and everything. Like, I'm very proud of you, and thank you so much, man, for coming on.
Oh man, thank you, Tommie. It was my pleasure. Yeah, thank you for supporting me and my skating and just being able to talk with you. Yeah, it was awesome. So appreciate you, man.
Definitely. All right, man. Well, I'll talk to you soon, man.
Yeah. You as well. Take care then, Tommie. Have a good one.
You too. All right,
later.
I don't go on tour, I go to war.